Hello and welcome back to HSN. I'm Sam Cucuzzella. With me today is Matt Pollard, and today we are going to be taking a look at some former Delaware Blue Hens and asking ourselves, where are they now? Now let's start off with Joe Flacco. And Joe Flacco is one of the most highly decorated athletes to come out of the University of Delaware. But you may be surprised to hear that it didn't start that way. Flacco originally committed to Pittsburgh, where he played sparingly and transferred to Delaware in 2005. He became the full-time starter in 2006, and in 2007, he broke out during the season. The Flacco-led Blue Hens rose to an 8-3 record and made it all the way to the FCS National Championship game before unfortunately losing to Appalachian State. Even though he was at a smaller school, Flacco received a lot of hype before the draft, and in the 2008 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens traded up in the first round to select Flacco with pick number 18. In his first few seasons with the Ravens, Flacco put up solid numbers as a starting quarterback, but he rose to a higher level of fame with his 2012 Super Bowl win, where Flacco was named MVP after a postseason run where he managed to beat both Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. In his 4 postseason games that year, he threw for 1,140 yards, 11 touchdowns, and no interceptions. After that season, Flacco became, for a short period of time, the highest paid quarterback in NFL history with a 6-year, $120.6 million contract. In his next few seasons in Baltimore, Flacco didn't quite reach the heights of a Super Bowl performance, but he still put up some impressive statistics. He remained in Baltimore until 2018 when Lamar Jackson replaced him. He was traded that offseason to the Denver Broncos, where he played in 8 games in 2019 before going down with injury. The Broncos released Flacco that offseason, and he was signed by the Jets to back up Sam Darnold. However, after some injuries to Darnold, he became the starter for a few games. After that season, he signed a deal with his hometown Philadelphia Eagles for the 2021 season, but in October of that year, he was traded back to the Jets after Zach Wilson suffered an injury. He re-signed with the Jets for the next season and ended up starting the first 3 games of the season after Wilson again went down with injury. And after Wilson came back, Flacco backed up until the final week of the season, where he started again in place of an injured Wilson. At age 38, Flacco is still eyeing a comeback, but as of today, he remains unsigned, which kind of surprises me considering, you saw Aaron Rodgers get injured. He has experience with that offense. He could probably come back. You never know with him.
The next athlete we're going to be talking about is Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy was born in a small town in Dunellen, New Jersey. He ended up committing to Delaware and played for them from 1997 to 2000 after graduating from Manheim High School. And his first meaningful appearance came in the first round of the Division I AA playoffs, where he came in for the injured starter Brian Ginn and led the team to a 16-7 win against Georgia Southern. He ended up starting the next week as well, but despite a solid 2-touchdown effort, Delaware fell to McNeese State 21-20. He was named the permanent starter in his junior year, and during his senior year, the Blue Hens went 12-2 and ended the regular season ranked second in the Division I AA. Despite winning the first 2 games in the playoffs, their season came to an end in the semifinals against Georgia Southern in the 27-18 loss, which actually ended up being his final game as a Blue Hen. After graduating, his main focus was to prepare to play for the NFL, but unfortunately, he did not get any opportunities to do so. Because of this, he turned his attention to arena football, where he played for the New York Dragons. Throughout the next few years, he bounced around a few more times before he ultimately retired from his professional career in 2008. After working his way up the NFL ranks, he became the head coach of the Chicago Bears, where he led them to a 12-4 record, but they fell to the Eagles in the first round of the playoffs, thanks to their kicker, Cody Parkey, hitting the side of the field goal post on a chance to win them the game. He ended up staying with the Bears for a few more years after that, until 2022, but he was fired after an unsuccessful season. Currently, he is the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs, and he gets to work with stars such as Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, and one of the most explosive offenses in the NFL today.
I'm sure some Eagles fans here and at the University of Delaware are kind of mixed on Nagy because, he helped them advance in the playoffs with the Bears, and he also helped beat them in the Super Bowl, so a bit of a mixed reaction from the Philadelphia Eagles faithful. And next, we're going to be talking about Elena Deladon. Born in Wilmington on September 5th, 1989, Deladon started her Delaware athletic career as a volleyball player, and she announced she would play basketball in 2009 as a redshirt freshman. She dominated her first year, averaging 26.7 points per game and being named the CAA Rookie of the Year and Player of the Year. Her sophomore season didn't quite live up to expectations due to Deladon contracting Lyme disease, but in her junior year, she led the nation in scoring with an astonishing 20.1 points per game. Her senior season also saw a bout of Lyme disease, but she still performed incredibly well and led the Blue Hens to the number 6 seed in the 2013 NCAA Women's Tournament. She She declared for the 2013 WNBA draft, where she was selected second overall by the Chicago Sky. In her rookie season, she led the Sky to the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference, and she ended up winning Rookie of the Year. In 2015, she won the WNBA MVP award and scored a career-high 45 points in a game where she also set the WNBA record by making 19 consecutive free throws. In 2016, she helped Team USA win a gold medal in women's basketball in the Olympics. She was traded in the 2016 offseason to the Washington Mystics, but in 2018, she reached a WNBA milestone as the fastest player to reach 3,000 points. In 2019, she won her second career MVP award, and she also ended up winning her first WNBA championship, as the Mystics beat the Connecticut Sun in 5 games. She's still in Washington at the moment, where she just finished her 6th season with the Mystics and the 10th season in the WNBA. Great career from Deladon.
And finally, we'll be talking about Rich Gannon. And you have probably seen him recently if you attended the Blue Hens' 42-14 win over St. Francis, as he was out on the field for the opening coin toss. In his time at Delaware, Gannon started off as a punter before he moved to quarterback during his sophomore year. In this new role, he excelled, reaching 2,000 yards of offense each year and being named the Offensive Player of the Year in his senior year for the Yankee Conference, which was the precursor to the modern-day Colonial Athletic Association. Gannon ended up being drafted in the 4th round of the 1987 draft by the Patriots, and soon after this, he was actually traded to the Vikings. Gannon then spent a decade backing up in Minnesota, Washington, and Kansas City. He occasionally started games, but most of the time he was backing up. However, in 1999, he got his big break after he signed with the Oakland Raiders. He made 4 Pro Bowl appearances during his time in Oakland, and the ultimate highlight was in 2002, where he was named the NFL MVP and won the AFC Conference Championship. He retired from the NFL 2 seasons later, and immediately after retirement, he became an NFL analyst on CBS, where he worked until 2020. Thank you, everyone, for watching tonight's show, and be sure to tune in next time on October 10th. Thank you and have a good night.